What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Green here, and today is Subscriber Sundays, the day where I answer your questions, maybe give you some advice, and talk topics. If you want to know how to enter a question or enter anything, you can do it in the comment section down below. Send me a tweet, where my Twitter will be in the description as well, or you can send me a private message. Again, all of this will be in the description, so please send me those questions. I really do love them. And yeah, second week in a row I'm doing Subscriber Sundays. Thank you so much, everyone, for sending your questions last week. I got a ton of questions, a lot more than I thought I would, and we're barely gonna have enough time to wrap them all up today, but I'm gonna try to get them all answered. And just again, thank you so much. I love doing Subscriber Sundays. It's easily my favorite thing about the whole YouTube thing, is interacting with people who actually watch my videos, because it's really cool at the end of the day to say, hey, I made a video today and this many people saw it and this many people enjoyed it. So thank you so much for asking your questions, and let's get to it because we have a lot of questions to answer. The first question comes from Bundy. He has a longer name, as you can see, but I don't really know how he wants me to pronounce that, so we're just going to call him Bundy. Not Ted Bundy, but Bundy. And he says, what is your all-time favorite game? And man, this one was tough to answer, really tough. I'm going to tell you, it has to be between two games. Those two games are Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time. Those are my two all-time favorite games, and I'm gonna have to give the nudge to Final Fantasy VII. I remember so much about this game, and it's crazy because I was playing it when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, you know, in that general area is when I was playing that game. I didn't even buy it. You know, my brother brought it home. My brother was a huge Final Fantasy fan, so he brought that home and I played it, and I still find myself remembering parts of that game, humming the songs of that game. That game probably had the most attractive and memorable soundtrack ever in any game in history, probably. I find myself walking through work humming songs of Final Fantasy. People are like, what are you humming? I'm like, leave me alone, you won't understand, and that kind of deal. So yeah, super awesome game. Some other honorable mentions would be Uncharted, the Uncharted series for PS3. Love those games, absolutely love those games. If you haven't played those, check them out. Some others would be like the Halo series, Metal Gear Solid 4, of course, you know, the Call of Duties. So I have a lot of really favorite games. I think the past 10 years have been just amazing. So moving on, the next question comes from Kinlan Davis. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. And he says, I love your stuff. You're doing great. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate that. That's awesome. And he says, what is your favorite Call of Duty? Well, this one's kind of tricky to answer. I have been playing Call of Duty for a very long time. I've been playing Call of Duty since the very first one. My dad brought home Call of Duty 1 on the PC way back when. I think I was probably like 11 or 12 when it came out, I want to say. So I've been playing, I played every Call of Duty except for the knockoff ones, like I wouldn't say knockoff, but like Big Red One and stuff like that way back on the PS2. Never played. So I played every major Call of Duty release, and I've had my favorites and I've had my least favorites. My favorite one would have to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And I know a lot of people don't like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's probably their least favorite one, but it was my favorite. I think it was the most fun. I think if they could somehow recapture that and balance it out a little bit, we'd have the best Call of Duty ever, because it was unbalanced. I mean, it was really unbalanced. You had a lot of bugs and glitches, noob tubes everywhere, one-man army, javelin glitch, a lot of annoying glitches, commando lunge. You had a ton of bad stuff about Modern Warfare 2, but at the end of the day, I had the most fun with it. And I ran with a big group of guys when Modern Warfare 2 came out, and we played it all the time. I was still in high school. We would play that game. I would just wake up at 9 a.m. on my days off on weekends, and sometimes we'd go till midnight playing that game. And it was just, I don't do that with any Call of Duty here recently. I only did with that game, mainly because I have more responsibilities now, more things to do, so can't do that. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2, my favorite Call of Duty. The next question comes from Ostu. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. He asked questions last week, so that was really cool. And he says, yay, I love Ghost 2. And he's talking about Ghost Robo, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. And he says, what is your favorite gaming memory? And this one was really tough. Took me a while to think about this. And my favorite gaming memory was probably not playing a game, but opening up a game for the first time. I think every one of us in our childhood has had that Christmas present you open up, or a special game mom and pop brings home, and you will never forget it. And I remember my parents were really cool about Christmas. They were really cool about, I usually always got what I asked for, always got what I wanted, but I never thought I was getting it. They did such a good job of being, hey, you know, we couldn't get it this year, we couldn't find it, or, you know, hey, you know, there's just some reason why they couldn't get it, and I always believed it as a kid. I was always gullible. And one year I wanted the Game Boy Colors. When the Game Boy Color came out, I wanted that thing so bad, and I wanted to play the Pokemons for it. And I remember opening that thing on Christmas. I went ecstatic. My family still has it on video, I'm pretty sure, and I just go crazy. I mean, I just go completely crazy, and they enjoyed it because I loved it so much. And I'll never forget, I played that nonstop. I probably played my Game Boy more than any other game system ever. I played the thing all day long. So yeah, that's probably my favorite game memory, and just opening up things at Christmas. It was big blast. The next question is a very unique question, and it comes from Psychotic, UKN Psychotic, and he says, if you could be me for one day, what would you do, and how would you cope with going back to yourself the next day? And I had to think about this for a while because it was a very hard, kind of eye-opening question. You know, I learned a lot about myself through this question. I learned a lot about other people. You know, it was eye-opening, and to say the least. And what I would do if I were you for a day is I would probably still upload videos, because that's what I do and that's what you do. So I would probably just upload videos with your rig, and I don't know what that rig looks like, but I would use it to my advantage, whatever it looks like. And I know you have a dog, or you did have a dog, so I would probably play with dogs or something like that along those lines. So something along that area. And if I had to go back to myself the next day, I think it'd be tough to cope with it after being you for a little while, but I think I could go back to it. I think I could, you know, I think I can manage somehow. It would be rough. The first day would be really rough, but it would get easier every day. You know, it would get a little bit easier. So the next question comes from Stephen Dunlop, and actually I'm gonna put two questions into one because someone else asked a question similar to this. So Stephen asked, "What sports do you play?" And then Wrathchild asked, "Did you ever play baseball? And did you ever hit a home run or anything like that?" So those are the two questions I'm gonna form together because they're very similar. So what sports did you play? I did play baseball. So that answers Wrathchild's question too. I played baseball growing up in high school up until I think junior year of high school is when I quit baseball. I just decided I want to do other stuff. It wasn't really cutting it for me. I was a good baseball player. I pitched, I played third base, and I was good, but I wasn't scholarship good. So, and I wanted to, you know, have a job, get a car, that kind of stuff, do things. And baseball was really, it was at the time where it was in high school, it was really unrewarding for me, and just wasn't my favorite thing to do. But I did hit a home run. I was a pretty good player. Hit a home run right, I think, over right center field. So in between right field and center, so right center. And it was a really cool moment running around those bases. I have to tell you, I only hit one. I had a lot of, like, you know, ballparkers inside the ballpark, home runs and stuff like that. I had a lot of hits where I hit the fence, that kind of deal. But I only hit one home run in my career, and it was a good hit, and I was very proud of it. And so was my Faja. So yeah, there's that. So yes, baseball, only sport I ever played. I played football in Little League. Nothing really else. I want to play tennis. If I could go back to high school, I would play tennis. I would try my hand at tennis because I love tennis. It's a fun sport, and I think I could have been good at it. But I didn't give it a shot because it was the same season as baseball and whatnot. So moving on to the next question, and it is the last question of the day. The question is Face of Spades, and he says, "Do you prefer Care Bears or My Little Pony?" I had to think about this. This was probably the hardest question. I will say this was probably the question that took me the longest to answer. I said about this for hours. I sat down at my table and thought about it, pondered over it, and you know, it's a conclusion that was very difficult to make. I called like 10 friends asking them what they think I should do and how I should answer this question. It was rough. You know, they thought it was rough. There was one point where we all cried and we held hands and just thought about life and how great life is. And but this question was really hard to answer. The question is, oh yeah, do you prefer Care Bears or Little Pony? I think I already said that, but it's a funny question, and the answer is Care Bears. Little Ponies are for losers and people who may not be straight, which is nothing wrong with not being straight, but I think Little Ponies are for those kind of people, and I'm not those kind of. I'm the Care Bear crowd. So yeah, there's that. And moving on, I've actually got time for one more question, and it's asked by Billy Smack. If you don't know who Billy Smack is, he comments on almost all of my videos, and they're always hilarious. And I'm not sure if he's serious or not serious. I mean, I don't know, but he says, "What do you think about homeless giveaway Fridays? Get back with me on that." And the answer to that is that would be a great idea, except I don't really know how I could film it. The area where I live in, there's not a whole lot of homeless people. So if you're just wanting me to give you stuff, I mean, I'm sure we could work something out. You know, I'm sure I can mail you something every Friday. Maybe take a picture and put it on Twitter of what I'm mailing you. I don't know. But do you even have an address? I'm not sure how that works, but get back to me on that. Message me on that. And I'm Mr. Green, guys. Hope you enjoyed Subscriber Sundays. I know I did. I had a complete blast. Love doing this. Don't forget to ask your questions. It's, like I said, it's my favorite thing throughout the week. And yeah, you guys are awesome. I'm Mr. Green. Peace.